What is Startup India scheme? Startup India is a comprehensive government initiative designed to foster a conducive environment for startups to achieve sustainable economic growth and large-scale job creation. The scheme is implemented and coordinated by the Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, (BIT), under the Ministry of Commerce and Industry. Definition of a startup, as per BIT. An entity is recognized as a startup for government purposes if it fulfills the following conditions. Incorporated as a private limited company, partnership firm, or limited liability partnership, LLP, in India. Age of the entity should not exceed 10 years from the date of registration. Annual turnover must not exceed 100 Indian rupees crore in any financial year. Focused on innovation, improvement of products/services, or scalable business models. Has the potential for wealth creation or employment generation. Must not be formed by splitting or restructuring an existing business. Startup India objectives. Promote entrepreneurship by encouraging risk-taking, innovation, and enterprise creation across sectors. Build a startup-friendly ecosystem that supports startups from ideation to scaling. Improve ease of doing business through simplified regulations, self-certification, and digital governance. Encourage innovation and technology development in products, services, and business models. Provide access to finance through seed funding, venture capital support, and credit guarantees. Generate employment opportunities by fostering new businesses and self-employment. Support inclusive growth by expanding startups to Tier 2, Tier 3, rural, and semi-urban regions. Strengthen industry-academia collaboration for research, incubation, and skill development. Promote global competitiveness of Indian startups through market access and exposure. Foster sustainable economic growth by supporting scalable and innovation-driven enterprises. Pillars of the Startup India Action Plan. Simplification and hand-holding. Self-certification under selected labor and environmental laws. Digital registration and single-window clearance system. Faster approvals and continuous mentoring support. Funding support and incentives. Government-backed funding through venture and seed funds. Tax exemptions and fiscal incentives for eligible startups. Credit guarantee mechanisms to improve access to loans. Industry-academia partnership and incubation. Establishment of incubators and research parks. Collaboration between universities, research institutions, and industry. Mentorship, innovation support, and technology commercialization. Financial support mechanisms under Startup India. Fund of funds for startups, 10,000 Indian rupees crore, to provide venture capital through SEBI registered funds. Startup India Seed Fund Scheme, 945 Indian rupees crore, for proof of concept, prototype development, and market entry. Credit Guarantee Fund for startups to enable collateral-free loans from banks and financial institutions. Income tax exemption on profits for 3 consecutive years for eligible startups. Capital gains tax exemption on investments made in eligible startups and government-notified funds. Angel tax exemption subject to prescribed eligibility and compliance norms. Fast-track IPR support with fee rebates to reduce innovation-related costs. Role of startups in employment generation. Large-scale direct employment. BIT recognized startups have generated over 10 lakh direct jobs since the launch of Startup India, spanning technology, manufacturing, healthcare, education, and services sectors. Youth-centric job creation. A significant share of startup employment is created for the 20 to 35 age group, supporting India's demographic dividend through high-skill and innovation-led jobs. Indirect employment multiplier effect. Each startup generates multiple indirect jobs in supply chains, logistics, marketing, legal services, and platform-based work, amplifying overall employment impact. Regional employment expansion. Nearly 50% of recognized startups are located in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, contributing to decentralized job creation and reducing migration pressure on metros. Women workforce participation. around 45% of startups have at least one woman founder, leading to higher participation of women in formal and flexible employment structures. High growth employment via unicorns. India has crossed 100 plus unicorns, many of which employ thousands of workers directly and create large-scale ecosystem jobs through vendors and partners. Promotion of self-employment and entrepreneurship. Startup India supports first-generation entrepreneurs, encouraging self-employment and enterprise-led livelihoods, especially among educated youth. Skill development and new age jobs. Startups drive demand for skills in AI, fintech, biotech, renewable energy, and deep tech, contributing to workforce upskilling and future-ready employment. Issues related to startup in India. Regulatory and compliance complexity. Despite ease of doing business reforms, startups face compliance under multiple laws. India ranks 63rd in ease of doing business. World Bank, last edition indicating persistent procedural and regulatory challenges, especially at state and local levels. Funding gap at early stages. While India attracted large venture capital, nearly 70% of startup funding is concentrated in late-stage startups and metro cities, leaving seed and early-stage startups, particularly in Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities, underfunded. Taxation and policy uncertainty. Issues related to angel tax, valuation scrutiny, and delayed tax exemptions have affected investor sentiment. Many eligible startups face delays in availing the 3-year income tax holiday due to stringent certification norms. High failure rate and sustainability issues. Studies indicate that around 80 to 90% of startups fail within the first 5 years, mainly due to poor market fit, cash flow constraints, and lack of scalable business models. Skilled workforce and talent retention challenges. India produces a large graduate base, yet less than 50% are considered industry ready, leading to skill mismatches. Way forward. Simplify rules, make startup regulations and compliance easier to follow. Increase funding, provide more money for early stage startups, especially in smaller cities. Improve incubation, set up more incubators, research hubs, and mentorship programs. Develop skills, train youth with industry-ready skills and retain talent in startups. Support regional growth, promote startups in Tier 2, Tier 3, and rural areas. Global expansion, help startups access international markets and investors.